Now that Digimon.net has caught up to where Digimon Dreamers was in the release of Saikyo Jump, the story can finally continue on. Prior to Chapter 22 being released, I did have a good feeling that something big was about to happen, because why else just kind of stop at that specific moment? It feels like you're trying to get us to be excited about some potential exciting thing, especially kind of feeling like there's a cliffhanger, so maybe that was a good point to continue on from. And I was right. We did get something pretty big. We have Bulkmon finally showing up in his actual form. So that was something that was pretty exciting. We also got to see Medieval Dukemon as a potential future evolution for the Wizardmon, and this is especially because we know that this Digimon is one of the other Digimon that originally comes from Witchenly, like Wizardmon, so it makes sense that a Wizardmon that comes from Witchenly would evolve into another Digimon that also comes from Witchenly, and that's a nice kind of touch. However, it's kind of funny that we're not calling it Medical Galantmon, as that's its incorrect but its official name, that being they misread medieval as medical, and of course Galantmon being Dukemon's name in the English version. So it is funny that we're using the Japanese name for it, rather than the official but incorrect name of Medical Galantmon. I would say that's because potentially the localizing team might not have a knowledge of Digimon outside of what they're localizing. That would make sense to me, especially because we have Phalesmon being called Pharasmon, so it feels like they're just looking at the name and just writing it down. So while we have Phalesmon being Pharasmon, which is just reading out the characters, we also have the correction of Medical Galantmon being Medieval Dukemon. But that was just something I noticed. I'm fairly certain for the most part, Medical Galantmon is used in the English releases of Digimon. I feel like we've seen Medieval Galantmon maybe once being used, but mostly the name for it is Medical Galantmon, which is kind of funny, but honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I guess I could see, it kind of looks a little bit like a nurse, which makes no sense. I don't know why that is some serious copium. I just looked at the name like, oh yeah, okay, medical. Sure, he's a nurse. I don't know why my brain went there, but I just saw the white, I guess, on him. I don't know. In any case, we have the Medieval Dukemon being revealed as a potential evolution for Wizardmon to get. I hope that means that we're going to get Medieval Dukemon. I feel like that'd be kind of cool, but it could just be like, hey, that could happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But in any case, we have the combination attack of Wizardmon and Pulsemon, which reminded me of the app linking in Appmon, where Digimon kind of use rather use other Appmon as power-ups. And in the same way, it's like the card slash in Digimon Tamers, where characters use cards for Digimon to get themed power-ups for the Digimon. And then, of course, we have the similar sort of thing in Digimon Cross Wars. So this is something that we have seen together, but it's mainly more of a combination where one Digimon is in charge, or is active, I guess. We have, in Appmon, we get the primary Digimon with just a power-up of the ghost of another Digimon, behind them. In Cross Wars, it's the same sort of thing. And in Digimon Tamers with Card Slash, it's the same sort of thing there as well, where we have the main Digimon, so the Digimon partner, and then the power-up of whatever the card being used is. Here it seems like an actual team-up attack, but it still reminds me of app linking. App linking specifically is very similar to this, but again, this one feels like it's more of a partnership rather than just the other Digimon is just kind of helping out. So that was kind of nice to see. It's nice to see different or new-ish mechanics introduced in a series as long-running as Digimon. Even if it does remind me of other things, it still comes across as fairly unique. And then, of course, we have the main event of the chapter, which was, of course, Pulsemon finally fully evolving into Bulkmon. Previously, he'd only had partial evolution, where it was just like the arm of Bulkamon or the leg of Bulkamon or even just the head of Bulkamon, so it was just Bulkamon's head on Pulsemon's body. However, we finally get Bulkamon actually appearing, and I found like this was, in terms of Digimon evolutions, was fairly lackluster. We just kind of look away and then he's there. I felt like it was missing just like, you know, the more dramatic moment of I can finally evolve. He was just kind of there. I felt like that was a little bit surprising. But in general, it is pretty cool that we finally get to see Bulkamon. I'm wondering how the story will proceed from here. I'm wondering if we'll get Boutmon and Kazuchimon at any point, or if it's just Bulkamon. If we're just going to get to Bulkamon just for the point of like, oh, we can lift the curse now, Phalesmon's defeated, and then the story ends. I'm wondering how much longer Digimon Dreamers will be around. I'm not sure. It'd be weird if they moved it all to Digimon.net only for it to finish fairly soon after. Like if they only put like the last 4 chapters up and then like that'd feel like a weird choice. It was just 4 to go. So I'm assuming that we have at least enough to fill another volume. Fairly certain we have enough for volume 2 of the Digimon Dreamers manga now. So I'd be surprised if we're going to wrap up soon. I feel like maybe another 12 or so chapters, maybe 10 or so chapters. However, it is Digimon and it is Bandai, so it also wouldn't surprise me if they were just like, oh, we're done now. Next chapter's the last one. But that would really, really honestly surprise me. But I could see it go either way. I don't see it becoming like our long-running series. I don't feel like this is going to go on for years and years. I feel like it maybe has another year left, I guess, if we do another 12 chapters. But again, I've been wrong before, and I will probably be wrong again at some point in the future. But those are basically more or less my thoughts about Digimon Dreamers. Really enjoying it, really excited that I can jump back into it. Of course, if you're new to this channel or you don't watch all my videos, back when Digimon Dreamers was being published in Saikyo Jump, I was translating them and reviewing them each month on this channel. And I'm excited that I'm going to be able to jump back into the series because I've been kind of just twiddling my thumbs like I was rereading them, but there wasn't anything new obviously until chapter 22. So if you want to check my other videos about Digimon Dreamers, please do, because I have a lot of them as I was covering each chapter as it came out. So yeah, I'm just really glad that I can get back into this because I do enjoy Digimon Dreamers. You've probably noticed that I'm reading the English version. That's because that is my native language. Of course, I'm very lazy. I also just read all of One Piece in Japanese, so I think I've done enough reading for quite some time. By the way, 107 volumes in 2 months. I'm good. I'm good. I think I'll read this one in English. Thank you very much. And obviously, I'm not going to be translating it because it's available for free in English, and the translation is quite good. If there's ever any weird moments like Phalesmon being Phalesmon or Medieval Dukemon finally being called Medieval Dukemon, I will of course point them out, but otherwise it's a fairly good localization and I don't really have any complaints about that. So yeah, I won't be translating it and I won't be reading it in Japanese. I'm going to stick to my native language of English for this one. So in any case, those are my thoughts on chapter 22 of Digimon Dreamers. Let me know your thoughts, comments, questions, etc., in the comment section below. Like this video for, yay, I can finally talk about Digimon Dreamers again. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your neighbors. And of course, I'll see you next video. Bye! I don't know why I closed my eye there. I think I've got a twitch. Bye!